Welcome to another flow. My name is Megan and I'm guiding you. We're going to start today sitting at the back of our mat, coming into a child's pose. Before you get settled, you may want to grab some blocks or books, some props to help you out. And when you're all set, come to sit onto your heels, knees together, and then drape your body on top of your legs. Let your head come to the mat or to a pillow. Shut down your eyes or lower your gaze. And you can leave your arms forward, put them along your sides or whatever feels comfortable right now. We're just looking for a position where you can let go of your effort and tune into your inner thoughts, your inner self, your current state, your breath. Slowing down for perhaps the first time today. Letting go of all the things that happened before you arrived here, all the things you have left to do. Not allowing yourself to ruminate on any thought. Just noticing when you start to wander and bring yourself back to your breath. Using your inhales, your exhales as an anchor. Feeling the air in your body, your lungs expanding. Slowing down your breath to a rhythm that you intend to maintain throughout the practice. Something nourishing, a pace that energizes you or grounds you, making it your own. If you enjoy practicing with an intention or a mantra, bringing one to mind. And when you're ready, making your way into a tabletop position, just lifting your hips off of your legs and coming to stack them, your hips on top of your knees, on all fours, still a little bit towards the back of your mat. Pressing your hands into the mat, right underneath your shoulders, long spine, and taking a moment here. Few rounds of cat-cow to waken up the body. Inhale, you curl the tailbone up, drop the belly, open up the chest, look up. Exhale, opposite, curling the tailbone inwards, doming in between the shoulders, look between your legs. And doing this at your own rhythm of breath and pace, adding variations that feel right if you're going side to side or maybe wanting to get into the wrists. By switching the directions of your hands. We'll be here for a few breaths, so make it your own. Getting all the directions of the spine. Seeing how many parts of the body you can wake up. doing one side, making sure you're doing the equal amount on the other side. Or perhaps you're lingering in stillness in some of the stickier spots. We'll take 3 more breaths. Done your last exhale, bring your legs back together and sit back onto your heels. You're welcome to get into the toes, keeping them curled, or you can lay your feet flat. So sitting back on your heels, I'm going to get a nice stretch in my feet this way and just do a few wrist rolls. So bringing your hands to clasp, interlacing the fingers, and then gently making figure 8s with your wrists, feeling all the pops and cricks. And doing the opposite direction. Letting it go, shaking it out. Interlace your hands now behind your back. Inhale, bring your shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, roll them down your spine. Open up your chest, send your knuckles towards the mat. Oh, I've started cracking in my chest and it feels so good. Creating some space between your head and your shoulders, making some neck rolls. Opening up the heart. And shake it out, let it go. Maybe stomp out the feet. If you've been curling the toes, then it's a bit intense. So from here, curl your toes completely down, bringing your feet flat onto the mat and come into a low squat. You might be up a little bit higher, depending on your mobility, or you might be sitting on a block. But we're finding malasana. So heels are a little bit more inwards, toes pointed out. Always that slight tug of the tailbone, knees spread wide, and using your arms, your biceps or triceps actually, to push open your legs. Prayer hands at the center of your chest. You're able to look forward and ahead. You're able to lower your gaze, maybe even shut your eyes here and breathe. Warming up the body in this static pose. On the exhale, on your next exhale, bring your hands to the mat and send your hips towards the sky in this sort of wide-legged forward fold. Inhale gently brings you back into your malasana squat. The exhale, you come back into your forward fold, straightening out the legs as best you can, and exhale and inhale, coming back to your squat. And doing this a few times at your own rhythm. Getting into the legs. Again, working towards that cultivated breath, matching movement and rhythm of breathing. Maybe lingering in any sticky spots. And the next time you're in a forward fold, stay there. Start heel toeing your feet together, just about hip width apart, if not a little bit closer. Coming into a more traditional forward fold. Playing with the weight in your feet. Option to maintain that bend, a slight bend in your knees. Maybe pedaling out the feet a little bit, kind of like a rag doll. Inhale, press into your shins. Lift your back, halfway lift. Straight back, weight is in your toes. Exhale, fold over completely. Inhale, generous bend in the knees, and exhale, roll your way all the way up to stand. Bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears and roll them down your spine at the top of your, at the standing of your back of the mat. Tadasana. Palms facing forward, feeling all corners of the feet, engaging the glutes. Acknowledging the energy and the warmth that you can create in your body in stillness with a mindful standing position. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold over completely. Walk your hands out and come into a downward dog. Hands are about shoulder width, if not a little bit wider, whatever's comfortable. Intending a rotation in your shoulders where your elbow creases are facing the front of the mat. Maybe pedaling up the feet here in your downward dog or wagging your tail. As you can tell, I love movement as a way of waking up the body. That's why stillness can be so challenging for me and for many others. When you feel comfortable in your downward dog, find stillness. Intending your heels towards the mat. Pressing equally into your hands and into your feet. Your fingers are spread wide. Inhale, come high up on your tippy toes and roll like a wave into plank, top of a push-up. Slight pause and then bend the knees, send the hips back, downward dog. On the exhale. We'll do this flow a few more times. Inhale through plank. Exhale, downward dog. The slower you go, the more challenging it can be. Waking up the body, heating up the core. What is your intention? Where is your breath? And the next time you find yourself in downward dog, pause there. We'll take a collective breath. Big inhale together. Exhale, sigh it out, open mouth. Inhale on your tippy toes, wave yourself into plank, pause. In plank, feel your breath between separating your shoulder blades. And then either dropping the knees first or simply lowering yourself down, bending at the elbows, come down to the mat. Bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Inhale, peel yourself off the mat with your upper back cobra. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Fingertips to the nipple line, curl your toes under. Inhale through plank or table. Exhale, downward dog. From downward dog, bring your feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. 3-legged dog. Toes pointed towards the mat. Your hips are still parallel. On the inhale, you can feel your heel reaching higher without compromising the direction of your hips. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it in towards your chest, and drop the foot. Drop your right knee and find a low lunge. Coming into 90-degree angles as best you can in both legs. Feeling the directions of your hips. Trying to keep them level. And then squeezing that right glute. Activating your right hip flexors. Breathing here. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up, maybe even a slight back bend. And exhale, plant your hands down. Take a big step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, generous bend in the knees. Exhale, roll your weight all the way up to stand. Shoulders up to your ears and roll down the spine. Inhale, look up, reach up, and exhale, fold over. Plant your hands, step back, downward dog. Bring your feet together. Inhale, right leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Inhale to reach your heel higher. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it in towards your chest. Drop the foot. Drop your back knee. Find your low lunge. Activate your left glutes, squeezing it, curling in the tailbone, feeling the engagement in your front body. The energy, the warmth and stillness, the challenge. Inhale, reach your arms up, maybe a slight back bend. And then exhale, bring your hands to the mat, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, generous bend the knees. Exhale, roll yourself up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over, step back, downward dog. Option to take your breath here, take a little break, or join for a flow. Inhale through plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, back bend of choice. Upward dog has hips and knees lifted. Exhale, lower. Inhale through plank or table, and then exhale, we all meet in downward dog. Officially warmed up. Bring your feet together in your downward dog. Making sure you have the rhythm of breath that is sustainable for you, that is the medicine. Inhale, reach your left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hips, sending that knee towards the sky, your heel towards your bum, stacking the hips. Making sure nothing changed in your shoulders. And on your next exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest, step the foot down. Drop your back knee, find your low lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, push into both feet and lift yourself up into a crescent lunge. So you're off of your right knee now, standing tall. Breathing here on your next exhale, drop your back heel, open up into warrior two. Your right foot is now in parallel position with the short edge of your mat. You're intending your left knee towards your left pinky toe, curling in your tailbone always for that long stacked spine. Radiating through your arms, making sure your shoulders aren't at your ears. You might want to flip your palms upwards, and then without changing your shoulders, just flip them back. Exhale, straighten out your left leg, and then come into a triangle pose. So reaching your left arm towards the mat, your left leg is straight. You're maybe shortening your stance, bringing your right leg in slightly. Right arm reaches up. Your upper body is now parallel with the ground. You're not completely giving in. Maybe you're touching the mat with your left hand, but you're not using your body as a weight. You're using your core to keep yourself lifted. Inhale, reach your right arm up, bringing your whole body up. Switch the direction of your left foot. Come into a wide-legged stance, facing the long edge of your mat. Your arms are up. Your toes are pointed towards corners of your mat, and your heels are slightly inwards. Start bending at the hips and plant your left hand down right in front of your face. So here, making sure your hips are remaining straight. And then exhale, use your right arm to guide you into a twist. Reach your right arm up. What I wish I would have mentioned in my last video is to maintain parallel hips while you're doing a twist of this type. And that's really the challenge here, is making sure the twist is coming from the spine and not from the hips. And exhale, lower your right hand down, bend into the right knee, and come into a low side squat. Plant your right hand down And then this time, exhale, use your left hand to guide you and open up. Breathing here. When you're ready, bring your left hand back down. Switch the direction of your feet once more, framing your right foot facing the back of your mat. Framing this foot, bring your hands about 1 foot ahead of you now, and start dragging in your left heel, bringing the weight into your right foot. Making sure your hips are aligned here. Lift your left heel to be in line with your left bum cheek. So it's kind of like a warrior 3, but your hands are either on the mat or on blocks. Just adjusting making any necessary adjustments here, making sure your hips are parallel, your toes are pointed to the mat. And when you're ready, trying to walk your hands towards your right foot and folding over that leg, coming into a half split. Worrying more about the forward fold aspect than how high your left knee gets, but once you feel comfortable in that fold, lifting that left heel higher without compromising the angle of your hips. Maybe playing with grabbing your ankle, your standing ankle, and playing with balance. Or just breathing in this challenging stillness. On your next exhale, start bending into your right knee. Drop the left heel back, plant your hands down, and lift your right leg all the way up. You're in a 3-legged dog with your right leg in the air. Option here to bring your right leg down for a downward dog before coming into a flow, or just taking a break. Otherwise, you can join me with the leg lifted. Inhale, come high up onto your tippy toe, and roll into a plank. You might be in a 3-legged plank, right leg hovering. On the exhale, you're lowering down. Bring both feet to the mat. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, lower. Inhale through plank or table. Exhale, downward dog. Drop your knees. Drop your hips to your heels. And find a child's pose. Tuning in. Interesting if you bring your attention inwards, which parts of your body you can feel the energy coursing through, the space. Letting go of that sequence and preparing yourself to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Taking a moment to towel off, to collect yourself. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And when you're ready, making your way into a downward dog, you're still facing the back of your mat. This time in downward dog, right leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Notice your form. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest. Plant the foot down, drop your left knee, find your low lunge. Activate that left glute. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, push into your legs, lift that back knee, crescent lunge. Deep breath. On your exhale, come into your warrior 2, open up. Finding your alignment. Exhale, straightens out that left leg. Inhale to start dipping yourself forward, reaching your right hand towards the mat and your left hand towards the sky in triangle. Again, maybe shortening your stance, bringing that back leg in. Maybe a slight bend in your front leg to not overextend. Not putting too much pressure into your right arm as a support, but using your core. Feeling a really juicy stretch and activation along your side bodies. And then inhale, someone's lifting you by your left hand, reach your right arm up too. Switch the directions of your legs, your back into a straddle. Toes pointed outwards, heels in. Exhale, plant your right hand right down in front of your face. Use your left arm to guide you open into a twist. Trying to notice right away, I notice I'm shifting my hips towards the left. So I'm trying to actively make sure the twist is coming from my spine, not my hips. It's hard. Exhale, drop your left hand, bend into the left knee, find your low side squat. Use your right arm to peel yourself into a twist, reach it up. It's okay if you're a little bit higher off the mat, using some props to keep you lifted or your left arm to keep you supported. Nothing is more beautiful in a yoga practice than everyone doing and honoring what their body needs, where they're at. Opening up. And exhale, bring your right hand down, switching the direction of your feet. We've got our left leg bent, bringing both hands about a foot ahead of it, facing the front of our mat. Slowly start bringing your right leg in, bringing the weight into your left leg, and lift up your right heel in line with your bum cheek, your hips, coming into kind of a warrior three prep, and then finding your version of the half split, walking your hands towards your left leg and folding over, maybe just working at connecting your stomach and your thighs, maybe bringing your nose to your shin. Trying to keep those hips aligned. Bend into that left knee, drop the right foot, plant your hands, and send your left heel towards the sky, three-legged dog. If you kept it to a three-legged flow, maybe you'll do the same here. Inhale, come high up on your tippy toes, roll into a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, lower. Inhale through plank or table. Exhale, downward dog. From downward dog, just come to sit on your mat, walking your feet out perhaps or inwards, and then sitting at about the center of your mat, your knees bent ahead of you. Take a deep breath, and then exhale, start rolling down, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming to lay flat on the mat. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a big hug. Maybe rock around a little bit. Bring your left foot onto the mat, knee bent, sorry. So your heel is just about under your knee. And then coming into a figure four, your right ankle rests on your left thigh. You're opening up the hip here, sending your right knee towards the front of the mat. You might be staying here, finding this to be an intense stretch, or you may want to lift your left shin to come parallel to the mat, maybe interlacing your hands around your thigh and intending your left leg inwards as you use your arm to kind of do the opposing stretch, reaching still that right knee towards the front, getting an extremely delicious stretch on your right side. Making sure your head is rested. If you're finding that your tailbone or your head is off the mat or your breath is compromised, back off. Try a easier variation, maybe not easier, but the right variation for you. And just honor yourself where you're at. The practice is to maintain the breath, maintain your presence, not to push your flexibility, not to injure yourself, to look a certain way. Plant your left foot down, keeping your right leg as is. Bring your arms into a cactus, and then inhale and exhale, drop your legs towards the left, coming into a twist. Ooh, trying to keep your form. On the inhale, you can feel the space between your ribs and your hips. You can intend the length from your right side, with your knees still intending to open up the hip. On the exhales, you let go and relax a little bit more into the posture, taking out of the equation all the muscles that don't need to be activated. Relaxing your eyebrows, the muscles around your eyes, dropping your tongue from the roof of the mouth. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let it go. Maybe shake out the legs before we do the other side. Inhale to bring both knees again to your chest, giving yourself a hug, maybe rocking a little bit, getting a little bit of a massage into your lower back by drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees, or perhaps you're in stillness. And then planting your right foot down, coming into a figure four on the opposite side. May not be able to prevent your mind from wandering, but you can actively choose to bring it back. Tuning into your senses. mind you have, dropping the right foot down, bringing your arms into cactus. Inhale. Exhale, twisting towards the right with your, that always gets me, with your figure four. Noticing that when we linger in poses, they start to feel different. The sensations move. Noticing for me how different it feels from one side to the other. I'm really tempted to linger extra long on this side. Of course, do what feels best for you. But for the sake of trying to make it equal on both, we'll inhale, coming back to center. And exhale, let go of your legs, bringing them long onto the mat. And find yourself in Shavasana, Savasana. Tucking your shoulder blades, tucking your chin. Laying flat on the mat with your palms facing up. Invite you to add a count to your exhale. Slow things down into B. I encourage you to linger longer here if you can. If you have that time, give it to yourself. If you need to go, start waking up the body gently, wiggling your fingers and toes, making circles with your wrists and ankles. Inhale, reach your arms overhead for a morning stretch. And exhale, come into a fetal position using your arm as a pillow onto either side. Taking a moment to say something kind to yourself. Gently making your way into a seated position, keeping your eyes lowered or shut. Prayer hands at the center of your chest. Thank you for your practice. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.